Right, man. We in the building. We live. I'm setting that thumbnail up right now. Hey, if you're coming in the building, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We live with the legendary brother Rod Hayes, man. About to go down. Tune in. About to share our screen. I'm loading that thumbnail up for him. It's hard to maintain this soldier life mentality.
Man. Like saying this life we lead.
I'm a soldier on this. I'm a soldier on the battlefield, man. We fighting them head on, man.
Yep.
Hey, we're gonna give them time to get in the building. It's about to be lit. I'm gonna get the folder pulled up. I also got other pictures. I want to see your connection on that Louisiana Purchase thing. That's big right there, because I heard Taj Street Bay talking about that they couldn't ship us nowhere, so they had to create the prisons over here to lock us up.
Yeah, the plantation was POW camps. They use everything that we already had over here. They just making us think that it's from the 1800s or something like that. They built it when they got here. But that's why we're going over to the castles on the land. Hey, I gotta make a correction too. We hot on YouTube?
Yeah, we hot right now. We hot and live.
So while you getting that together, the last show we did, and I was talking about the Black Hawk Down incident and Muhammad Fahd Adid, and I was saying that he was from Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. But I was already Black Hawk Down happened in the Sudan. Mm-hmm. Muhammad Fahd Adid was Sudanese, and the sister was saying something in the comments, but I can't see the comments while we live. I gotta see it after the fact.
Yeah.
Now, the wisdom is in the error, young elder. Mm-hmm. So it was a post that I was supposed to have been put up about the 9 ether. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't done it. And part of the 9 ether philosophy from the sacred parchment scroll of Black supremacy and the Holy Pibby was that Ethiopia stands for Ether Utopia. Mm-hmm. That's Brother Rich calling me here. I had to catch him when I get off of here.
Yeah, Brother Rich wants you to go live too. Everybody trying to get you on, man, because you the hot phenomenon right now. You the hottest nigga in the game right now, man. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants you on live. So and then it's about to get ready to take back off again because it's starting to get cool off. So everybody gonna be lit on YouTube. Listen, it's gonna be more people on YouTube now during the winter solstice. You know what I'm saying? More people in the house sitting and they just like trying to absorb information. So we're finna get ready to take back off. We gave them a little break right there, but it's about to get ready to take off now. All right, I got that. I'm gonna switch to the laptop now. Then we can take off. Hey y'all, we in the building. How castles turn into prison with the legendary brother Rod Hayes. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're gonna be dropping his Cash App in the links if you want to show him some love. He don't do it for the money, but if you want to show him some love because he putting in his work for us, we're gonna drop the Cash App in the links and we're gonna pin it in the messages. Let me switch to the laptop and then we're gonna get the chat pulled up and we can take off. And I got those videos you sent me. I got those already ready to go too. Those 2 videos, and I found like 2 more too. Let me go ahead and switch to the laptop real quick. So, yeah, it's about to get greasy.
We're gonna lay the foundation of the Louisiana Pyramid. I mean, the Louisiana Purchase.
Okay.
And what was part of it in the Lewis and Clark expedition. So when you get ready to pull up the pictures, it's going to be the one that got the Port of New Orleans. It got you got all that stuff already on it. Port of New Orleans, the Louisiana Trail that they took, Lewis and Clark Trail that they took, and all that's in the same folder.
The folder right here. Oh yeah, starts right here. Like your folder start right here.
No, I want to start with a map of the Louisiana.
I got you then. Like it's this one right here.
Mm-hmm. See if we blow it up for us, we can read it.
I'm gonna blow it up.
You see where it say Louisiana in the green?
Yeah, right here. Acquired by U.S. in 1803.
All right. Louisiana Purchase was one of the largest real estate deals in history. The United States purchased the Louisiana territory from France at a price of $15 million, or approximately 4 cents an acre. The Louisiana Purchase doubled the size of the United States and opened up North America to westward expansion. You see this trail that they're showing in the red, right? That's the trail that Lewis and Clark traveled.
Okay.
Okay. For the next thing, pull that up right there. Blow that up. Let's look at that logo since it's here. You see that say Port Nola, the Port of New Orleans.
Yeah.
All right. So what happened with the Louisiana Purchase is this is what they bought.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I think I sent you an actual picture of the port.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. You okay. All right. It's a Louisiana Purchase.
I think I see a couple pictures over. The other way. You're going the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Go back. You just passed it. Keep going. It should be up in here. Okay, look what that say. This is a book about the Lewis and Clark expedition in the Louisiana Purchase.
Uh-huh.
What made me get the book is blow the cover up some more.
I'm gonna blow it up.
Look at the people in the picture.
Yeah. All right,
What
right here.
Yeah.
He's like a dog skin cat. She like a mix.
They had B and Bay was a translator, but they called in the record and say they big buck Negro.
Yeah, big buck Negro.
And they never identified who he was. But we know who he was because Big B and Bay wrote about being on the Lewis and Clark expedition and translating.
Yeah.
So go back another picture. Let's see what the next one back is. The other way. Yeah. So this is what we was supposed to be talking. These talking points.
Uh-huh.
Right. So you got to remember, they said that the Louisiana Purchase was one of the biggest land purchases, real estate deals in history, right?
Uh-huh.
But they only bought the port.
They only bought the port. All right, go ahead, get their head. Get a rock.
Okay, now the purchase agreement grants the protectorate right that the French had to secure the organic people against the invading hordes coming from the east, where we call them English, Dutch, French, Spanish conquistadors, nobles, the black nobility, aka the goddamn white man.
Okay. Go ahead.
And the white man ain't white.
Nah, we know that. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Crackhead.
Okay, now, so we know that they purchased it, but we don't know about the protectorate agreement.
Uh-huh.
When they sold the Port of New Orleans, they actually sold the protectorate rights as well. They didn't sell the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. I'm with you.
Now, what Lois and Clark did was a land survey.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they traveled across to the Pacific Ocean. They knew where they was going because that was a major port town up in that area where they went.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the map and look at where they went again. Make sure you get that top northwestern corner right there. That's what we want to look at. We want to see what's over there. Where did they go?
Say the fort. Hold on. I got a better. It's a better one in here. Oh, it's a better one. It's right here. Not the Louisiana Purchase. No, go back right here. All right, they went to Fort Chastop.
I can't see it clear enough.
Yeah.
But I can see the fort part.
Yeah, it say Fort. I don't know if that's a T or L. It says Fort Pops, and the Nez Percy tribe. I heard of that tribe. The Blackfoot says Blackfoot, Shoshone, Nez Percy, Fort Mandan. That's over here, right here.
All these are showing the people they interacted with when they stopped, where they met them at.
Uh-huh.
These was already settled lands because everywhere they stepping at, it's a tribal village.
Uh-huh.
Right? That's why they know who is the Sioux, who is the Floyd, right? Who is St. Charles? Well, who do they run into in St. Charles? All of these is settlements.
Uh-huh.
All right, now, the natural land barrier was the Appalachians on the east, which would have been in the area that's pink.
Uh-huh.
In the United States at the time wasn't that big. It was only the original 13 colonies.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And the French was losing the war to the indigenous people, and they sold the protectorate agreement with the Port of New Orleans to the incoming legal fiction or bankers called the United States Court.
Okay.
All right. So from here, we need to know when they looking at the land, what are they looking to see? Who live in the castle?
Yeah, who live in the castle?
So a lot of people don't know there's castles on this land. So we're going to run them videos so they can see some of the castles. Okay. And then we're going to go over what they did with them.
All right, I got you.
You can watch much of each one of them as you want to. I think the longest one is like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Something like that.
We got you.
But I want them to see that it's castles over here that's been here the whole time.
Yeah. And who built these castles? Hey, who built the castles, Brother Rod?
Who been here the whole time?
We were.
Exactly. So you got to remember, they doing the land survey. What is they surveying the land for?
To steal it?
Look, George Washington said that when they came across the land, there was people that was rulers, but they didn't rule over nobody.
What? Go ahead.
Right? So they had to, somebody got to be the subject.
Uh-huh.
Right? Well, if you got a subject, you know you're gonna need a predicate, right? Noun and a pronoun, an adjective and the verb. You're gonna put the whole sentence structure out there. Right? So the sentence is they was searching the land to see who was living in these elaborate places right here. This is real critical to understand, and this is why it's critical for us to go over these videos. See if you can make it full screen so I can really get good look. Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Amazing castles, your mind may automatically jump to Europe, and you'd be right. Luckily, though, Europe is not the only place that has these amazing pieces of history. And even in the much younger United States, we have our own fair share of castles that are well worth a visit. So let's plan our next road trip. From Italian-inspired architecture to massive estates. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out which castle was moved all the way from across the pond.
Did you hear him say which castle was moved?
Yeah, that's deep. Hold on, let me run it back.
Amorosa.
I missed it.
From across the pond. Italian-inspired architecture to massive estates. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out which castle was moved all the way from across the pond.
What? That's crazy.
Number 10, Castello di Amorosa. If you want the feel of an Italian wine farm in the beauty of the California landscape, then Castello di Amorosa is just the place for you. Italian-style architecture and fine Italian wines are all found just outside the town of St. Helena in the Napa Valley. Unlike most castles you may hear about or could be lucky enough to come across in your lifetime, this castle's construction began only in 1994 and was the vision of a fourth-generation Italian winemaker and entrepreneur, Dario Satui, who spent much of his life discovering medieval castles and wineries throughout Europe. He fell in love with 13th century Italian Tuscan style architecture and took 13 years to complete the construction.
See where it say Tuscan style? That's more.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. In on there. What you said?
Where it say Tuscan style architecture?
Yeah.
The Tuscans is the Etruscans. The Etruscans is the Moors who settled Rome.
Yeah. Okay. We with you.
Right. And they saying that this was just built less than 80 years ago. Right. This castle we looking at was supposed to be built approximately 1944.
Yeah.
All right. Just keep that in mind, but keep looking because they're not going to tell you when some of them was made for a reason.
That's right. Go ahead. I'm going to play it.
Today continues the tradition it started in 2007 and is primarily a wine farm, specializing in Italian wines and often hosts parties and weddings alike on its premises. Interestingly, despite its use as a wine farm, this modern example of a castle comes complete with a drawbridge and a dungeon, as well as a torture chamber to enhance the feeling that you are actually in a centuries-old castle. There is no mention as to whether or not the dungeon and torture chambers are used on people who drink too much of their wine, though, so we suggest you proceed at your own risk.
They cracking jokes now.
Castle. Situated along...
What'd you say?
I said they cracking jokes now. That's the adrenochrome joke.
On the St. Lawrence River near New York City, the Bolt Castle.
I think Birdman bought one of them castles on the island like that. There was
look, this was in New York City.
Oh, go ahead.
Lies among the spectacular Thousand Islands, and construction of this property started back in the year 1900 by millionaire George Bolt. He wanted to build the castle as a tribute to his wife and stated that it would rival any European castle of the time. But unfortunately, Bolt's wife fell ill and passed away just months before the completion. Devastated, Bolt halted all construction and never visited the island again, leaving the incomplete castle behind as a monument to his wife. From there, the castle would stand empty for 73 years. But in 1977, the Thousand Islands Bridge Authority decided to begin its restoration, and at last, the castle was built up to what it was meant to be. Today, it's a popular tourist attraction.
Hey, I wonder if that dude was a Moor. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Go ahead.
Pay attention to what they're saying. Is it more likely that he stopped construction or that the building's so old it was deteriorating?
The building.
Look at it.
The building so old.
Yeah, they say the construction was started in 1900, and it stayed vacant for 70-something years. And then they went back and rehabbed it and finished building the castle. My question is, was they really rehabbing it from being incomplete, or was they working on the damage that was done over the years of being unoccupied through natural deterioration on a structure that old? Look at it.
That's right. That's right. That's masonry right there. And we know that they ain't had that skill.
But keep going. Let's keep going.
All right.
And weddings are even regularly held on the island. This castle is a great example of the power of restoration, and even though it was only opened in the early 1980s, it's a great example of 20th century architecture combined with rustic beauty.
You see them say
Coral
power of restoration?
Restoration. Yeah, they just upgraded it and like fixed everything back up, but it's been around for a minute.
Keep going.
Located just outside of Miami, Florida, the Coral Castle is very special for two reasons.
That's at release.
That it is not strictly a castle at all. And second, because the entire project was done by just one man. As we mentioned already, the Coral Castle is not really a...
And just that thing, that Venerian dude, what his name is?
Yeah, Richard Leakskin.
Yeah. The Bible said he was a historical
castle, but rather a collection of stones gathered in different shapes. Some of them do indeed resemble the shape of a house, complete with stone tables and chairs, while some of the others are just small piles of rocks that loosely resemble Stonehenge. Also, as we mentioned already, the entire place was built by just one man, a Mr. Edward Leeds Skelman, back in 1923. Interestingly, though, a lot of the construction here is shrouded in mystery due to Edward building it all by himself using nothing but ropes, pulleys, picks, and winches to move some very large stones. In all, the construction of the Coral Castle took 28 years for him to complete. Despite the name Coral, the castle was actually constructed entirely from limestone, and for decades it had a perfectly balanced stone gate that was so easy to open that even a child could open the door with just a slight push. Today, though, the formerly perfectly balanced door's hinge has finally rusted away. While it is still a great tourist attraction, and people often stop by to admire the marvel that is the Coral Castle, the door takes a bit more effort to open.
Hey, that dude, Bible said he was a Venerian. That dude there. And the man from Planet Ridge.
More expensive than ever, but I just discovered a money-saving alternative. Are you still using...
Number 7, Bannerman Castle. Located just 60 miles up the Hudson River from New York, there is a castle which today is only a shell of its former glory. Known as the Bannerman Castle, construction started in the early 1900s when it was one of the most spectacular sights of the time. Built by a munitions merchant, Francis Bannerman, in an attempt to replicate the medieval fortress from which he was born, the castle was a success and served as his residence for many years until Bannerman died in 1918. But after the owner's death, the castle began to deteriorate. And to make things worse, a fire broke out in 1969, destroying most of the building in the process. Today, what remains of the castle still stands. It often holds various events on the island throughout the year. One thing is for certain, though. Despite the fire and the castle being left to the elements for so many years, it is still one of the most beautiful buildings in the U.S. and is a true example of European-style architecture in America. Number 6, Biltmore Estates. As far as truly beautiful architecture goes, the Biltmore Estate in North Carolina is quite high on that list. Construction of the estate started in 1889 by George Vanderbilt, and after 6 years of building, the doors opened for the first time in 1895, despite the fact that the building was still under construction. During the time the estate was being built, Vanderbilt and his architect, Richard Morris Hunt, spent years traveling throughout Europe, purchasing all kinds of valuables to put in the castle. This varied from paintings right up to carpets and furniture. Architecturally speaking, they were also largely inspired by their travels throughout Europe, and they used many of the sites that they saw in the design of the castle, creating, in the end, an awe-inspiring French Renaissance chateau. Today, the castle is still under full operation and now even includes award-winning wines and tours of the vineyards. It also has its own bowling alley and its world-renowned 70-foot ceiling banquet hall. It doesn't matter if you are inside or outside of this building, the sights and the beauty of this castle is an amazing thing to behold. Number 5, Fonthill Castle. This castle, found in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, definitely has the look of...
Hey, keep in mind, Pennsylvania is in America, man. So y'all, Pennsylvania is in America. So this castle is in America. What they call in America, right?
Your traditional Count Dracula style castle. Unfortunately, though, or fortunately, depending on your tastes, this castle has a more down-to-earth story. Built between 1908 and 1912, the Fonthill Castle was the creation of Henry Chapman Mercer, an archaeologist, anthropologist, ceramist, scholar, as well as antiquarian, who clearly couldn't decide on just one field to follow. Originally built as his private home and showplace for his collection of tiles and prints, he used this home as a base of operations during his lifetime. After he passed away, however, he wished for his massive multi-million-dollar castle to be turned into a museum, with the caveat of allowing his own housekeeper to have living rights inside the castle, where she lived out the remainder of her days until 1975. Today, the castle still serves as a museum to both the life of Mercer as well as his collection of tiles, prints, and pottery, while still maintaining a strict preservation policy, wherein the castle be kept as much like its original state as possible. Despite this castle being an actual museum of ancient tiles, it still attracts over 30,000 visitors a year. This game, you're not ready for it. Number 4, Thornwood Castle. The story of this castle is an interesting one because while it has only been in the US for around 100 years, its origins actually began more than 500 years ago. Chester Thorne is the brain behind this castle with 2 H's. While in England in 1907, he bought a 400-year-old manor before deciding that, although he liked it, he would like it much better in the US. So good old Chester decided it was a good idea to have the entire building dismantled and then shipped brick by brick over to Washington State in the US. He then hired famed architect Kirtland Kelsey Cutter to painstakingly reassemble the entire manor. The construction of the castle took 3 years to complete, after which Thorne presented the Elizabethan-themed castle to his wife as a display of his love. These days, the castle is an inn, and its Gothic, rustic charm attracts thousands of guests a year. In addition to lavish rooms and its antique interior, the estate has a private dock and lakeside beach, as well as a sunken garden, a beautiful landscape designed by the famous Olmsted brothers. As far as rustic charm and a beautiful countryside scenery goes, this castle is definitely something you need to experience in your lifetime. Number 3, the Smithsonian Castle.
Hey, keep in mind, the Smithsonian Castle is where I think they turned it into a museum, and that's where they hide a lot of the artifacts about the land over here, the people on the land. It's a lot of artifacts, and the ones they couldn't get rid of, they took them and threw them in the lakes and rivers and buried some of them in time, what they call in time capsules. Right? So keep that in mind. Smithsonian Institute.
and Castle. Located on the opposite coast, this castle is the first of the Smithsonian buildings that were built throughout the United States, completed in 1855 and made out of what is now the iconic red sandstone. The building is today one of the most recognized in all of Washington, D.C. In fact, we are lucky to have the Smithsonian building today, and it is all thanks to one man that we have them. The project was started thanks to a donation from Frenchman James Smithson, who, despite donating the money for the construction of the building, had never set foot on American soil. Originally, the building was the home of Joseph Henry and his family, Joseph being the first secretary of the castle, and today, a statue of him stands outside the building. Although it started out as just the one building, more government buildings as well as museums were built around it over the years, molding it into the spectacle that we know of today. And as a tribute to James Smithson, his crypt can now be found near the north entrance of the building. Have you ever visited any of the Smithsonian buildings? Let us know below. While you're there, remember to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Number 2, Castle Gould. Situated a few minutes from New York City, the land on which Castle Gould stands was first bought back in 1900 by Howard Gould, husband of the then famous actress Catherine Clemens. After buying the land, Gould began construction on the castle, modeling it after the Kilkenny Castle in Ireland. The castle was supposed to be the main residence on the property and was completed by 1904. However, Catherine Clemens rejected the castle and thought that it simply didn't suit her well enough.
Hey, if you look at her, she look like a dang mulatto. She look like a mix. Look at her hair texture. Look at the nose. That's her Nubian nose. She got like that damn chin, that little booty chin. But look at her. She look like a mulatto though.
Hey, look.
Go ahead. You want to say something on that?
All of these buildings they saying was built in the 1900s, but look, they were supposed to be built in the 1900s, but somebody keep doing renovations to these buildings. I'm thinking they was already here, and they just telling us the 1900s because the architecture don't match.
He's right. That's right.
Right, but we don't know the subtleties in the architecture. The one that made the most amount of sense is the one they say he disassembled and reassembled.
Yeah. And look, it says right her name was Gould, as in the Goulds. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and then you notice the guy that was contributing to the one of them castles. I think it was the Smithsonian. Never came over here, but he was in France. Where did the Statue of Liberty come from?
France.
Who sold the Louisiana Purchase to the English?
French.
Oh, okay.
Man, this shit's gonna be crazy. I already know you finna build on it.
So Gould then built the Hempstead House for them instead.
Gould.
And the huge castle was used as a stable and servants' quarters for many years after.
Hear what they say?
Today,
Stop. You hear what he say? The castle was used as a servants' quarters for years. Remember I said they turned all of our castles and our living quarters into POW camps. Right, so they're telling you what's going on right here, but they're giving us the wrong dates to mislead us on purpose.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
So you think we're dealing with like the 1700s, about around between 16, 17.
These buildings is obviously older than 1492. Yeah. Especially the ones up around New York.
Okay, go ahead. I'm with you on that.
All right. So we got one more here, then we're gonna watch the other one, and then we're gonna look at the trip again.
Okay, all right.
Though the castle is not open for public tours, there is a visitor center and a great hall located under the castle's clock tower, where functions are often held, including fitness classes and cultural events. Number 1, Cliff Palace. For number 1, we decided to include the natural beauty and native roots of the United States. Mesa Verde National Park in southern Colorado is quite different from most national parks you might visit. Sure, it's home to rare species of wildlife, but these are not typically the reasons people visit this park. Situated on the wall of Cliff Canyon, you will find a small village that has seemingly been carved into the cliff face several
You
hundred
can see this, right?
Yeah.
First discovered in 1888 by two
Hey,
cowboys.
you know, this look like Dogon Twa subscription.
We're gonna talk about it in a minute because this is the one of the Pueblo villages.
Yeah, that makes sense because the Pueblos are short people. I actually met some Pueblos. I actually lived out there in New Mexico with them.
Yeah, this one almost done. Then we're gonna go to the other one.
Boys searching for stray cattle. The Cliff Palace is believed to have been built in the 1200s and consists of around 150 rooms. Built by ancestral Puebloans, it's made out of sandstone and wood and is the largest cliff dwelling in North America. Archaeologists say that it would have housed around 100 people.
Hey, I ain't mean to stop, but I wonder what the hell Pueblo mean in Spanish. I used to know what it means, Pueblo.
It's like village.
Okay, all right. Yeah, now, oh shit, man. Go ahead.
And that it formed part of other smaller dwellings also found in the area. They concluded that the palace was probably abandoned due to overcrowding and was ultimately forgotten about for approximately 300 years before its rediscovery. Today, you can take a guided tour through the palace, and you can get a glimpse of life from a few centuries ago, including the Tower Square, which is a tall building approximately the same height as the roof of the cave and consists of 4 separate floors. Although the tower had to be restored, the palace and surrounding dwellings give visitors an epic experience. Let us know which of these you would want to visit in the comments below, and thanks for watching.
Now that last one, the thing first that you notice the style that they used to build it, right? Then you notice that they told you they don't know what happened to the people.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're talking about. So while you pulling up the next one, the whole village left to fight into the Gullah Wars. Right?
It's abandoned castles, right? Or is it 10 most impressive medieval style castles?
This one might be the right one.
Okay. All right.
What's the runtime on it?
25 minutes.
No, that's too long. We're not gonna watch that one.
Back to another DTG.
The other one is not that long. It's like 8
This is
minutes.
not about a specific historic person or event.
This one 19 minutes.
In this episode, we infiltrate an old fortress in the heart of Germany. The story of this unique site dates back.
No, that's something entirely different.
Maybe this.
We can watch some of the other one. We might just fast forward through a couple of castles.
Lieutenant Eugene Irwin's monologue about the concept of the castle, mentioning characteristics such as location, defense, garrison.
It's got to be this one. This one you sent me right here.
That might be fast forward or something.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to an familiar with, that being a fortified personal home built sometime between 500 and 1500 AD. I would say that this fits would had this castle been built in. You know how I said that these were all Renaissance castles and that I was
fast forward.
looking at medieval.
Full screen first.
All right.
This see that how the castle carved in the side?
Yeah, so just like the Dogons.
Yep, and just like the other village we just seen. This is the Montezuma Castle. Push play.
Medieval styled ones? Well, that is mostly true, except for this first one. This castle is actually estimated to be about 800 years old, with most historians and archaeologists agreeing that it was built sometime between 1100 AD and 1425 AD, which actually places it within the medieval period. At least it would had this castle been built in Europe. However, it is not what many would picture when thinking of a castle, lacking many of the advanced techniques that were being employed by European castles at the time. However, based on the definition of a medieval castle that I am most familiar with, that being a fortified personal home built sometime between 500 and 1500 AD, I would say that this fits that description and is a legitimate medieval castle. So, suck it, Europe.
Hey, you know, some of the Pueblos weren't even around in that time.
But skip to the next one.
They couldn't have built it. It had to be some Almacs or Dogons or Twa that built it.
There was us. Motherfuckers look like us.
Yeah. The Pueblos didn't even exist then. Because 325.
Well, Pueblo is the name that the Spaniards gave to the people from the villages.
Yeah, that's what it means, the village. Yeah. All right, so hold on, let's speak to the next one. Yeah, ain't no way the Pueblos didn't build it. They weren't even around then. They a mixed tribe.
All tribes mixed now.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, all right. This right here. Let me go.
Belvedere Castle. Listen for the years that was supposed to be built.
Okay, I got you.
Castle, a small time of which only the stone foundations have survived. Its discovery in 1933 revealed many Sinagua artifacts and greatly increased understanding of their way of life. At number 9, we have Belvedere Castle, a small tourist location in Central Park, New York City. This one earns its relatively low spot on the list.
You see where it's at, right?
Yeah. Mostly just a tacky tourist attraction in one of the worst cities on earth. That's right, New York blows. Come at me. Named for the Italian, meaning beautiful view, Central Park's Belvedere.
Hey, you know, some of these castles were schools for the art, man, for the craft. Before what they was calling witches and warlocks, when the Roman Catholic Church or the Spanish Inquisition or the conquistadors you talking about came over here to take our shit. Go ahead.
Castle offers parkgoers exactly what its name implies. With its 2 balconies, it supplies wonderful panoramic views that include some of Central Park's most beautiful and famous landmarks: the Della Corte Theater, the Great Lawn, the Turtle Pond, and the Ramble. Originally designed in 1865 by Calvert Vaux and Jacob Ray Mould, Belvedere Castle was intended to be a Victorian folly, a fantasy structure that provides a great backdrop and views, but without a real intended purpose. With its strong stone facade, grand turret, and flag,
so I know y'all seeing through this bullshit.
Stunning attraction in Central Park. Inside, visitors will discover a vast collection of natural history artifacts, such as skeletons and papier-mâché birds.
Okay, let's go to the next.
Also, a few microscopes and telescopes on the.
And to the person that's in the comments, the Mexicans, we already broke that down. They come from us mixing with the Hoshin over time. All right, right here. This is the next one. The castle form. There we go.
Have to visit the garbage pile of a city known as New York. At least you can escape to this semi-cool location and look at some birds or.
New York was a great place.
Next up at number 8, we have Castle Farms.
What'd you say?
Detroit, New York was a great place to them motherfuckers moved there.
Yeah, right, man. I'm telling you, and we had all them schools because I did a lot of research on them castles up there. They said they was used for schools of the art, like the alchemist schools, to learn how to do like for doctors, like the witch doctors or whatever they labeled us as, warlocks, the conquistadors.
We're gonna come back to all that when we get done. We're gonna look at a couple more of these castles over here.
Okay.
Because when you understand these castles and this time frame, slaves didn't build this shit.
Right.
If the time that they saying that they built them, who would have been the labor force?
Exactly.
Right. But there's no record of slaves building this shit during the time when they would have been the one building.
Uh-huh.
So that's why they keep moving shit to the 1900s.
And then I'm gonna tell you this: they couldn't have really built this because they didn't really have like the 1700s is when they just started getting into like laying stone. They didn't even really want like on and they were still over in England with it.
Now this one right here don't look like that old style architecture. This looks more modern.
Right? Look, it's right. It looks like a more modern house.
a historic attraction located in Charlevoix, Michigan. This castle really isn't what I would call medieval style, but it is pretty cool. Plus, it's in the Midwest, so that's pretty neat. Open year-round, Castle Farms is one of northern Michigan's top historic attractions, as well as one of the Midwest's premier wedding venues. Visitors can stroll throughout the magnificent stone buildings dating back to 1918 and enjoy gorgeous gardens. A variety of museum quality collections featuring castles, antique toys, and royalty memorabilia from around the world are displayed throughout the buildings. The castle's 1918 museum showcases items from that time era, plus World War I memorabilia. Children delight in feeding.
Hey, Shadow Band, and in the comments, that could be your perspective, but Elijah Muhammad said Mason means Muslim son. Some people say mother and son.
A huge rainbow trout swimming in the reflection pond, playing a game of giant chess or hide and seek with the fairies and gnomes dwelling in the enchanted forest.
Okay, let's go to the next
I would say that this is.
What say, brother?
Let's go to the next one. We're gonna look at two more, and then we're gonna start talking about this shit.
Okay, all right. Okay, here we go right here.
Dwelling in the enchanted, it probably makes for some plus, given how popular in Old Castle, a beautiful castle located near Alexandria Bay, New York, in the famed 1,000 Islands region. This whole island is a sight to see. The castle itself shares the island with the famous Bolt Yacht House. And if that sounds too posh, don't worry. Tickets for adults to tour the island are only $13, and it's only $7.50 for kids. And anyone under the age of 4 gets in for free. The tours are self-guided with information aids available to answer questions you may have. Your ticket entitles you to a
Look at that architecture.
Man, that's fire too. That's a fire architecture. It's like a small castle right here. Then they go to a big castle right there on the island.
Yeah, that shit old as hell.
That's real old.
Right.
And you know what? It looked like that same architect that them or the same conquistadors or the same Moors that built that church downtown in New York on what is called Trinity Church. The same, like the same architect.
A lot of them churches wasn't built; they was revamped, turned into churches.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next castle.
Okay, I got you. That castle, that's probably the flyest one on there.
Chester, Massachusetts.
Now this one's in Massachusetts.
Castles that I think are very cool, and every medieval history buff should visit at some point. This castle is Hammond Castle. Hammond Castle is located on the Atlantic coast in the Magnolia area of Gloucester, Massachusetts. The castle, which was constructed between 1926 and 1929, was the home and laboratory of John Hayes Hammond Jr. He was an inventor who was a pioneer in the study of remote control and held over 400 patents. The building is composed of modern and 15th and 16th and 18th century architectural elements and sits on a rocky cliff overlooking Gloucester Harbor. At present, the castle operates as the Hammond Castle Museum, displaying Hammond's collection of Roman, medieval, and Renaissance artifacts, as well as exhibits about his life and inventions. The Great Hall contains a huge pipe organ, which has been used for concerts and recordings by many famous organists, including Richard Ellisar and Virgil Fox. Unfortunately, as of 2015, the organ is no longer functional. Tours are self-guided, and visitors may explore 8 living areas, including a dining room.
Hey, this is ancient Egyptian architect with the archways. You could tell that Moors or Nubians built this.
And the bedrooms, an inner courtyard, 2 towers, and the Great Hall. The castle's lawn overlooking the harbor serves as a location outside of museum hours for weddings and various
Okay, that's enough of that shit.
For the past 1425 AD.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Google. I want you to pull up salvage law, admiralty salvage law.
Savage law.
SAL Not savage, salvage. SALVAGE.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
LAW. Right there at the top. Right there. Just it's right there at the top. The first right there. Just
damn, hold up.
Right there. The law of salvage is a concept in maritime law. Remember? Maritime is admiralty.
Yeah.
Which states that a person who recovers another person's ship or cargo after peril or loss at sea is entitled to a reward commensurate with the value of the property so saved. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay, now, what they was looking for is who lived in the castles on the land.
Mm-hmm.
When they got back to D.C., that's just when they declared the land vacant and then pull up squatters' rights.
All right.
SQUATER.
Squatters' rights refers to laws that allow squatters to use inhabited another's person property in the event of the lawful owner does not evict or take action against the squatter. Typically, squatters' rights only applies if an individual has illegitimately occupying a space for a specific period of time.
Okay, but it's telling you about squatter rights, but it's not really telling you how it works.
Okay, like yeah.
So,
okay, go ahead.
So the way squatters' rights work, if they find an abandoned piece of property and fix it up,
mm-hmm.
and the rightful owner don't tell them, "Hey, you on my property, you have to get off my property." After a period of time, they claim the property as nobody compensated them for bringing them up to code,
mm-hmm.
which ties into the salvage law.
Mm-hmm.
Because they found that the castles was empty, now they can exercise squatters' rights on the land.
Go ahead.
Where do they get the squatters' right from?
Go ahead. Well,
the Protectorate Agreement. Put Google Protectorate Agreement and let's see what it is. PROTECTORATE.
Protectorate rights.
Protectorate agreement.
Protectors agreement. They kind of exclusive. Okay, they might hold on. Let's see. The agreement includes you have access to information.
That's data protection. That's different.
Okay, all right.
You got protectors agreement. It's supposed to be protector. Take the S off and add an ATE.
Okay, all right. Protectorate agreement.
Right. A Berlin Agreement allowed European colonial powers to establish protectorates in Black Africa, the last region to be divided among them, and diplomatic notification, even without actual possession on the ground. This aspect of history is referred to as the scramble for Africa. So they put all of those countries under protectorate agreements for their corporations to work the land as a government.
Well, go ahead.
Right. This is right here is talking about something called the Berlin Conference.
Yep.
Right. And Berlin Conference is when they divided Africa up. It's an excellent book on it called A Scramble for Africa. That's the same book that tell you what the fat flag of the Bays looked like that the Ottomans flew.
What's the name of that book again?
A Scramble for Africa. It's one of my favorite books.
Oh yeah, I gotta get that.
Put book
right there?
Put book behind it. That ain't it.
Okay, all right. Right here. That it? Hold on. That might be it right there. Is that it? By Chamberlain?
That might be a version of it, but that's not the one I'm familiar with.
That's a third edition. That's a third edition. Hold on, let me go back. It may be.
That's the one right there.
Yeah, okay, all right. Oh yeah, I got to get that. 1876
to 1912.
That's on the Berlin Conference. 18. Mm-hmm. Hey, could you break down a little bit what that was like? Just a couple seconds on what that was on.
So Africa didn't have the current nations that they have now.
Mm-hmm.
When this happened, when they did, and the Berlin Conference is when they passed Africa out to the nations of Europe under protectorate agreements. But they was the ones they was fighting the whole time. It's the same thing they did with the Louisiana Purchase. See, I'm showing you how these motherfuckers come in. We all left our villages to go fight in the wars. They knew this. So they come back, backtrack on this off of the Louisiana Purchase. Then they went back to DC and declared that the crash site was bigger than they thought it was. They need to incorporate the protectorate area of the Louisiana Purchase agreement in order to secure or to become the trustee. To activate trustee status on the land, because they were saying that the crash site went all the way to that fort that they went to. So this is how they got in everything west of the Appalachian Mountains and east of the Rockies. How did they get into California, New Mexico, and Arizona?
That's a good question.
The Mesoamerican War. Right? Let's pull it up so the people can see what I'm talking about.
It says right
the
here,
Mesoamerican War, the treaties that were signed, America annexed California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Nevada, all that was Mexico.
The Meso Warfare, 1200 BCE through 15. To my that one?
No.
Okay.
It's the Mexican-American War.
Okay, all right, let me go back. Oh, 14, hold on, okay.
Yeah, 1914.
Okay, yeah. It says right here from
that's it right there. The Mexican-American War, also known in the United States as the Mexican War, and in Mexico as the intervention. I can't even see it.
Hold on, I got you. Es Mexico, U.S. intervention in Mexico was an armed conflict between United States and Mexico from 1846 to 1848. The Mexican-American War, also known as United States.
They're saying the same thing.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you're right.
Okay,
yeah.
Now this is when they you see those pictures right there?
I didn't blow it up. Blow some of them up real quick. All right, which one you want?
That right there, the third one from at the top.
Right here?
Yeah.
All right, let me save it. Boom. I want to save it like this. Boom. This one right here look like a good one too. Let's get that one just while we're right here. Boom. All right, let's blow it up. Where is it? Just saved it. Oh, there you go, right there. All right, let me blow it up for you.
Okay, so all of this, now you notice California, right? You see it?
Yeah.
It look like an island right there.
Yeah.
See where Texas at over there? All of that was Mexico.
Yeah.
The picture give you a poor interpretation of Mexico from that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Because Texas was Mexico, Nevada was Mexico, Arizona, New Mexico, and California. That was all Mexico.
Uh-huh.
So this is the war right here where they annexed Texas and the rest of the southwestern United States from Mexico. And that's why they call it the Great Intervention in Spanish, the Great American Intervention in the Mexican War. This is when they was hunting down Pancho Villa and all that shit.
Yeah.
No, this is before that. This is before that.
Like doing Geronimo?
Might have been around that time.
Yeah.
But that's when they got the southwestern United States from Mexico in the treaties for the protectorate right.
So technically,
Mexico was under a Spanish protectorate during that time.
So technically, when we see a whole bunch of Mexicans in Texas and these areas you name, they really was already there. Some of them was already there. They not.
Yeah.
Man.
They calling them illegal aliens.
Yeah.
They the ones who's got the blood right to the land, and that's why they keep coming home.
Dang. That's crazy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's move on. Okay, so now they didn't made their trek across the land. You see how it is now?
Yeah.
It includes all that land that we was talking about.
Yeah.
Right. You see that on the right side, it looked like stair steps going up.
Yeah.
The Rocky Mountains is the natural separation right there.
Yeah. Look how it was all the way up there. Damn near almost. That's all California pretty much. And then some of like Oregon and like Utah, some of Utah. Yeah. Texas. Yeah.
You can side by side compare it to a modern American map.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember, the blue part, now look at it, the United States of America, then cross the Appalachians and move to the Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now they back against the Rockies. They got the Mexicans over the hills from them. And this is the Mexican-American War. This is the American invasion to wrestle. The English want to wrestle the country from the Spaniards.
Dang, that's crazy, bro. Right there, too.
Okay, now, by treaty, this is what they annexed from them. Annex means that you hold part of the treaty back until certain conditions is met. Now, Mexico is just as oil rich as Saudi Arabia, damn near. Let's pull up Mexico oil reserve.
Okay, let's get them.
Mexico don't nobody need to be poor in Mexico. When I get done showing you what I'm about to show you, nobody in Mexico should be poor.
Man, crack. Hey, somebody say Rod Hayes get these niggas, man. Look at the oil reserve. Damn.
Go to the main page so it can tell you how much they got.
Oh, look. What? Fortune. What? Let go. Real quick. So they got 50 magnitude.
Go back to the main page because we want to see.
Okay, let me go back.
Okay, go to all at the top.
Okay, I got you. Let me get this out of the way. It says 58 billion barrels.
5.8 billion barrels.
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay, what it say in 2021? Crude oil reserve in Mexico amounted to 5.8 billion barrels, a decrease of 50% from the 10.5 billion barrels reported in 2009. Mexico is the second largest crude oil producer in Latin America, ranking behind Brazil.
Damn.
Why they poor? That ain't
all. Yeah, go ahead. Get these niggas, right?
Right. So pull up Mexican mineral wealth.
Mexico is amongst the world's largest producer of oil, silver, copper, gold, lead, zinc, natural gas, and wood. Other minerals such as mercury, cadmium, anonymous, magnesium, iron, and coal, and also are found.
Okay, now look, before you go any further, see the dark print?
So, amongst the world's largest producers of oil, silver, copper, gold, lead, zinc, natural gas.
So again, why is they leaving Mexico to come up here for a fucking job?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Now, all the same, pull up Texas oil production. This would have been Mexico wealth too, had America not annexed Texas.
Crude oil, 15,000?
15 point.
Okay, it's a point.
612 million barrels.
Damn. That's why Texas is one of the richest states up in the United States. It's more billionaires in Texas than anywhere.
Right. Now watch this.
Yeah.
This oil is not traded on the open market. The American military buy all American made oil for the National Reserve.
Uh-huh.
All of this oil, they've been buying it from the producers or the producers. They've been buying the oil and they've been saving it for critical times. Yeah. In case, because remember, they defeated Japan by cutting off their fuel supply.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what made the Japanese become kamikaze or wind warriors, flying their planes into the boats.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? So, they stealing the wealth from Mexico. Somebody is. Right? So the people not getting they all of this is belong to the people of Mexico.
Hey, there's a connection between, because when Madrid took over, because he was in connection with Bushnell, and Bushnell was connected with the Rockefellers, and the Rockefellers, John D. Rockefeller was the Standard Oil, and they was down there in Mexico drilling for oil, Standard Oil. That's John D. Rockefeller now.
Now watch this. Put in Arizona oil wealth.
Oh shit! Somebody say, shit.
All of this came on the heels of the Louisiana Purchase.
All right. Oh yeah. Texas is the richest. Okay, hold up. What does it say right here?
Okay, it said they don't have an oil reserve.
Okay. No proof.
Or natural gas reserve. Okay, so put in New Mexico.
Yeah, they have collected 7.8 billion. Project in co-op states. So search Mexico. Oh,
it said the state accounted for more than 11% of total U.S. crude oil production.
What? That's a big number though. 10% is a big ass number. That's a big ass number.
Yeah.
That's like 100,000 out of a million.
Yeah, look at the number. Crude oil. 3.365 million barrels. That's 3,365 million barrels of crude from New Mexico. Now remember, this all revenue that Mexico as a nation would have had they not annexed this. Now let's look at Nevada and California to see how much wealth is being stolen by the organic people from Mexico proper.
It says they 15 small oil fields in the 3 areas of state. All right, hold up. So it says Nevada.
It's not significant. Okay, now California.
All right, we got you. But that's still a lot. The 10% just alone in New Mexico.
Yeah, now that ain't even counting what they getting as Mexico and what they would be getting if Texas was still Mexico.
1.8 million barrels is coming from California every day. Oh, it's consumed every day. Hold up, damn, that's a lot of. Oh, this. Oh, and California has having now. Oh, will.
The question is, if they producing this much gas fuel in California, why is their gas prices so much higher on the West Coast?
Exactly. That's a good question.
All right, now, so we know that somebody's stealing money from Mexico. They use the treaties to annex California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, and Texas from Mexico. Texas became the Lone Star State. It's the only state that doesn't need congressional approval to sever from the Union. So the state of California, the state of Texas, if it decided to secede from the United States, can form itself up into many as 5 different independent nations. This is all in a treaty arrangement. Right? So now Texas got representatives in the Senate and Congress because they became a state. The same as with New Mexico, Arizona, California, and Nevada. Now, all of these people that they calling the illegals, this is what they stealing from them proper.
Fire, man.
So when we talk about the Indigenous Rights Act and reclaiming the wealth of the land, reparations is pocket change. It's a distraction. Because we got full right to the mineral wealth of the earth according to the motherline coming out of Big Mama house. Right? The coal and the gold. So in this case, liquid coal, which is oil.
That's right.
Right? So when you're looking at people in poverty, don't think that their nation is poor because the people in poverty. Just realize that somebody's stealing the money at the top and not sharing the wealth with the people from the land, and the people need to be in the outrage. But the people are so busy trying to make their day-to-day life that the harder the taskmaster and the more oppressed they keep them, the less they can see their way out of the oppression. The guy, put this name in your Google. I want people to see who he is. His name is Emilio, Amilio Zapata, Zapa.
I got him. Yeah. We got his head right here.
This is the Marcus Garvey of Mexico.
Oh yeah, I did a movie about this dude.
They don't like us talking about him.
Let me blow him up.
Click the first picture. That's the one I like of him with the big Garvey mustache.
I got you. Let me get him out there. Let me get him. Right there.
He
look like Pablo S. He look like that dude. What's that one name? Not Pablo. Yeah, the other one that was working for Pablo. That they kept on arresting. The feds kept on arresting. He broke out. Not Gustavo. What's that dude name? Somebody drop in the chat. They know who I'm talking about. The one that was moving in the underground. Let me get him pulled up, right? Damn, what the hell just happened?
You were just in there.
Yeah, I'm like right here. I got it right here. Boom. I got a bigger hard drive on the way, so I'm gonna have this all neater. So and I'm gonna have all your folders, every class we do saved up. All right, so okay, where is it at? Boom, I got them right here. Oh yeah.
So Emilio Zapata.
Chapo, yeah, Chapo, that's his name. Chapo. He look like El Chapo.
No, he don't look like El Chapo.
Yeah, dark, darker though. You know, he got the black. He got some black in him or whatever. A dark skin.
Well, he was probably about my complexion. But listen, his name Emilio Zapata. We need to know about him.
Okay, go ahead.
Emilio Zapata was the freedom fighter that influenced Che Guevara. He influenced, well, he told Pablo Escobar what to do. Not Pablo Escobar, the famous Mexican
Pancho Villa.
Pancho Villa. This who gave him orders.
Okay.
Pancho Villa didn't like him. But the people knew that this man right here was the one with the solution to the national problem. So he got sold out by Pancho Villa for a movie career. Right? So Pancho Villa was flirting with the president of Mexico, trying to fight for liberation. And they came to him first. So they wanted him to give them Pancho Villa, and he wouldn't give them shit. Because he's looking at Pancho Villa as a valuable asset to the liberation of the people. Right? So Pancho Villa not looking at it the same way as Emilio. He's looking for self-aggrandizement. He want to be a celebrity. So when he that's what ended up getting him hit by the military, because Pablo was, I mean, not Pablo, I keep calling him Pablo, but he was willing to negotiate with the El Politico, the political figures of the country that was setting up a legal fiction. Emilio Zapata was against it. Now, the thing about this, put in, go back to the search engine, because the Zapatista, Zappatista,
all together?
Yep.
Right here.
And Panthers. This was an alliance made coming from Tupac.
This black flag with the red flag.
No. What it's gonna be? It's gonna say Zapatista, and it's gonna say Panthers one union. It's gonna have both of their logos gonna be tied together.
You see this book right here?
I don't see it.
Okay, you don't see it on here at all. Okay, all right, let's try that. Oh shit, that's okay. I see what's going on. Hold up. Let's try that. Okay, this might be it.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, let me save it and blow it up for you real quick. Where is it? Yeah, I ain't even never seen nothing like this. This is my first time seeing this. The Mexicans and the Panthers going in. That's a kind of like
you gotta realize these Tupac people,
Mongolians.
Both lands is Tupac relatives.
Go ahead.
See what they say, Zampantera?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So Zapatismo, Black Panther Party. Right? Scroll down to the bottom. You see that handshake?
Yeah. 2000.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when they made the treaty together to get the imposters off the land.
It's fire.
So you need to know this stuff so y'all know that when I be telling y'all, we've been working behind the scenes trying to get this shit unified at the top so we can tell the grassroots what's going on. Hey, now I'm telling the grassroots and I'm showing the receipts.
After that mining calendar date they come out with, the November 2012 thing, when it says the world gonna end, it's really.
I think it was one day before the discovery of the Higgs boson. I think it was like December 20-something.
Okay, I know there was somebody was saying in 2012 they would say, "Oh, it's gonna happen in 2012."
Yeah, well, that was the Mayan calendar came to an end to close the age out. It just started all over. They talking about what the Mayan calendar gonna do, Y2K ass shit. It just start to fuck over at the close of the age and reset automatic.
That's right. This shit powerful right here, man. I ain't never seen this right here. I ain't even know the Black Panthers connected with another Brown family.
You want to know who else they connected with? Put in Weather Underground. Watch these billies.
Okay, let's do it. Weather Underground.
This is why I tell y'all I don't get into that skin-based shit because these motherfuckers was fighting and going to prison for us, trying to help us out of a condition. They ain't even have to be in our business, but they was out there.
You see the I see the symbol like the W.
Yeah. You see that wanted picture, that wanted poster with the three people? Yeah, them was the leaders.
Right here.
Yeah. Them was the leaders. They was all had affiliations with the Black Liberation Army. Right. Then another group we had an allegiance with, I can't think of the name of that motherfucking group. Right. So this was the wanted poster for the Weather Underground. They was leading the underground resistance in the Midwest. They was coming off of a college campus. I don't know if it was the University of Michigan or Michigan State, but they was broadcasting. They had an underground radio station. Back then, instead of hacking onto somebody's social media, you would go and create you a radio station that carries so many blocks, and then you had your little own broadcast. Right, this is what they was doing.
So Malcolm X was doing too. Malcolm X was doing it.
Right, because they understand the power of using the radio back then is like the internet now.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, now, go to
They got a couple more slides too on this thing too. You ain't go over like these like I don't know if it's like you was going to go over these or not. Like
yeah, because these is castles they converted into prisons. This is where we was going next, because how do you hide a castle from the people who belong in the castle?
Right, turn it into a prison. That make a lot of sense.
Turn it into a prison. This is a castle that was converted into a prison in 1866.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, let's go. Keep going. You might as well go in a row. This is Marquette Prison in upstate Michigan, right? This is supposed to have been built in the 1800s, but you can clearly see that this is around 1300s architecture. The only thing is new is the shingles. They used to be on the top ceramic roof tiles.
Yeah, you can tell.
They took the ceramic roof tiles off, and then they put modernized roofing on here. Probably had leaks or something because it's old as hell.
Yeah, you can tell the brick style laying, the style of how they laid the bricks. If you study architect, you can tell it's like at least between 13 and 1400s.
Okay, let's look at the next one.
All right.
So they turning our prisons in jail. So what do you think they got in store for the royalty on the land?
Right.
Which prison? Okay, which prison? Joliet Correctional Facility. This is a prison, and it was a castle. You could tell it's clearly a castle.
Yeah.
But they converted it into a prison. Joliet Correctional Facility. Go to the next
one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure which one this is. But this is another one of the castles they converted into a prison.
That's a big ass castle.
It's a big ass prison.
Damn.
Everything we built for good, they use for our demise. We got to use the
same. And that's in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
That's like our stronghold. This was a stronghold for the Moors.
No, fuck the Moors ain't got nothing to do with this. What we talking about now? But wasn't no such thing as a Moor when this was going on.
Okay. So the when we built this, you know, around the time we built it, it's okay. We can say natives. We can say natives for people that don't like the word.
Yeah. Because that's who built this shit. That's why there's no records of no slaves building none of these castles.
Yeah. This right here shit is real old, man. You can't tell me this shit ain't at least.
That's why conveniently, look, they conveniently keep saying everything is built in the early 1900s after slavery, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's no record of a workforce the size it required building this village. They would have a whole village nearby.
Yeah.
This shit old as hell.
This shit.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
At least 1200s. Okay. I think that was the last one. Besides the ones that I had already had for you laid out. This prison. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. All right. So, like, could you break down the prison that Bobby and Larry Hoover them at? Because it's built like some kind of the Florence. See how it's built like a triangle? Mm-hmm. It's got to be some kind of alchemy, and then they underground and shit.
Listen, I tried to go there in the Astros, right? It's the most dark and gloomiest shit you can imagine. I couldn't even get through the conjure they got around that motherfucker, and it's all dark.
Yeah, this shit is deep right here. There's two triangles. Actually, they got 3 pyramids shapes right here.
Yeah, most of the modern prisons is built like an X, look like an X from the air. Right. Pull up Ionia Bellamy Creek.
All right, spell that for me.
IONIA. New word. BELLAMY. There you go.
I got it right there. All right, let me save this. Oh yeah, you finna. Hey, you going in, brother? Hey, y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We're gonna show you brother some love. We dropping his cash app in the links every 5 minutes.
These modern prisons like this one I'm finna show you was designed to be able to drop bombs from the air and know exactly where you hit.
What? Hold on, let me pull that joint up, man. Oh, I just hit it right here. Here we go.
See all of them,
like
the ones shaped like a Y?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those is what you call the dorms. That's where the inmates sleep at.
It's damn sure some kind of alchemy going on there, bro.
You can see it.
They got 4 Ys in an octagon. Then they got like a circle in the middle. It's there. It's automatic alchemy when you start drawing pentagrams. I mean, when you start drawing like your ruins. These are ruins.
Mm-hmm.
Listen
to the word. What they trying to do to the people in there?
Ruin them.
Yep.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. Look at this shit. And it might be some sexual type alchemy too. The way it's shaped, like with the Y, the Y chromosome. That's the male chromosome. The Y.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like some kind of this right here is deep right here, man. I'm about to look at this.
That's so they know which buildings they hit from the sky though.
That's right. They hit the building with the Y, hit the Y buildings.
Yeah.
because that's where the inmates sit. So we all want to say it because they don't want to say that, but I caught what you just said though.
So when they lock all the inmates up, you see the square buildings.
Yeah,
that's where the officer's supposed to report to. So in the national crisis, where they have to get rid of the inmate population, they sound the alarm for emergency count, lock all of the inmates in, and then all of the officers will be seen running into the square buildings. And then not long after that, that's when they come through for their airstrike.
And they can run right here in this area right here.
That's for a heliport.
Okay. To get them out of there.
Well, yeah, it depends on what they want to do with them. They go back after the bombing and get survivors. They helivac them to wherever they're going to imprison them after that. But that was an old plan that was scrapped under this new incoming system. Okay, now.
Oh yeah, what about Alcatraz, man? I got that one up there too for you.
Pull it up. Let's look at Alcatraz. Alcatraz is obviously a castle off the coast off the bay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, let me get a better picture. Oh yeah. It's definitely a castle, man. I got a whole bunch of them up here too. These castles that's turning into prisons.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Alcatraz right here. Yeah, you can tell that was a fort. It was a fort.
Mm-hmm. That's what they said. They may turn the military base into a prison, but you got to remember, they're still old as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So they might say it was a military base, but when did it become the military base is the question.
Yeah.
Because it was probably one of our castles, and we probably had this one where we boat across. When we went to war, we took our whole family, dropped kids off in the South. When we say drop the kids off in the South, we mean from the Texas-Louisiana border all the way into Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we was dropping kids off with Big Mama. That's why all of the plantations had all of the different mixes of kids, because we was coming from all tribes. Right? So this is how they filtered us out and merged in the Mongolian Hun hybrids that they had, and they was using the servants and passed them off as us to sign treaties.
Yeah, it make a lot of sense now. That make a lot of sense.
Right. So Lois and Clark is going to assess the lay of the land. We gotta remember, they went on that expedition because of the Louisiana Purchase. When they get to Louisiana Purchase, they get a land report from the French. From the French land report, they know that all of the people from the land went southeast. We going to fight guerrilla wars. Fuck your castles. What good is your castle if your people get slaughtered?
Right.
So we came out of our castles all over the land. They all over the land. They old as hell, but they trying to tell us that they all was built around the early 1900s.
Yeah, that's a damn lie. You know that.
That's a lie of convenience, because now you don't have to answer for the labor.
That's right.
Nobody has to answer for the labor force required to build such elaborate structures.
You damn sure right.
Okay, so now, in the early 1900s, who the fuck was coming over here? Ellis Island was on full pump.
Right.
Yeah, that's the history of Alcatraz, but I can't read it.
Yeah, it said that the group of Mayans were controlling this island, Mayans. And they said
they even telling you what clan that the royalty that was there, what clan they was from. Now we talking Queen Califia. Right, that's Leah.
You know, that could have been Queen Khalifa Island, man. What she was having her castle at, her big castle, how she ruled from.
It's totally possible, because that's what California is named after.
Yeah.
right? Now, remember, you got two cities of the sun. You got LA and Miami.
Okay.
Two sunshine states, California and Florida.
Yeah.
Right? Both of them got a Hollywood.
Yeah.
Both of them have a Disney World.
Yeah, that's right. Both of them grow oranges in the spot. Tropical fruit.
Oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes. Right? So now everything that was going on in Florida is going on in California. That's what they telling us.
Yeah.
Business as usual. The dumb niggas ain't gonna figure it out. Ain't none of them gonna figure out that while they was all leaving to go fight the war in the Gullah Wars, the Geechee Wars, the Gullah Geechee Wars, while we was all fighting them in Florida, they was clocking which clans was leaving they dwellings vacant. Remember, I told you they turned Big Mama house into the big house on the plantation.
Having no allowance. I got some more picture. Here go a picture of one of the castles and how it was built too.
Those are called longhouse style. Those are barracks, and we used to build like that. We didn't live far away from lions, tigers, and bears. Well, not necessarily lions, but yeah, mountain lions.
Cool. Yeah, mountain lions.
But the mountain lions, the tigers, the bear, not the tigers, the bears, the wolverines, all that shit ran the land. We didn't interfere with them, so we built shit like this to keep them out.
Yeah, this right here, this definitely takes you. It looks similar to the how Mansa Musa was laying his stuff out. Hold on, I got a couple more. Hey, we got about 23 minutes. We got to start taking questions in about 5 more minutes. So get your questions together for the brother. Let me see. Okay, let's go back. We can go up here. These are some time I found that were turned into prisons. And these are all in America. All these castles in America. It's a shitload of castles in America, man. And they telling you this shit.
Man, I keep singing this song till I'm blue in the face. That we was royalty over here. We believed in the adornments of nature was more beautiful than the adornments of man. We didn't wear crowns. We wore feathers.
You know another thing too. Then Martin Lawrence, when he fit in that movie Black Knights, then he go back into medieval times in America, not in the overseas, because he was in America when he went through that thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's totally possible.
Yeah, and he was in the castles, and they was talking about, and they was calling him more up in that damn tape too.
Yeah, he was getting on his nerve too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he said, "Oh, you keep on calling me a Moor." Like, yeah, you sure right. He kept on saying, "Yeah, you right." Oh shit, I'm about to go back and watch that again, man. I'm about to go. Oh shit, he just started some shit, right? So I'm about to go back and watch that again. He was getting irritated about it.
So when I tell the people that we had castles on the land, they turned our castles into prison, just like they turned Big Mama house from orphanage into a goddamn plantation.
Hey, so, yeah, go ahead.
So the Lewis and Clark expedition is what declared the land vacant.
Okay.
Now, using the salvage law, they can exercise a squatter's right, and then they can start dividing the land up in what they call the Northwest Territory.
Man, that's crazy. So let me put this together in my head so far to sum here what we're talking about. All right, so we built these castles. We were living in these castles, royalty. When the war started, when they was trying to steal our people land, we went to go help them on the east, like Noble Drew Ali was pointing, saying that they came from the left side. We went to the left to go help these people, and when we left, they came and squatted on our property, on our castles, and said, "Oh, they left them."
Right. They said, "There, look, this it sounds something like this. There's no royalty here. all of the castles are vacant.
What? Go ahead, man.
All right, now that they declare the castles vacant, who's going to exercise the jurisdiction over their salvage claim?
That's right.
Right? The salvage claim falls under Uniform Commercial Code as a business transaction, and the Uniform Commercial Code ties you right back into the papal bulls.
Yeah.
The Sanctum bull, pull it up. Let's go.
Sanctum bull, I got you. I got you. The Sanctum.
It's unum, U-N.
Okay,
U-M.
okay, unum. Okay, U-N.
U-M. New word, S-A.
I got you.
N-C-T-U-M. And then go to all. Read what it say.
It says the Unctum Sanctum is a papyrus bull that was issued by Pope Boniface the 8th on 18 November 1302. It laid down dogmatics proposition on the unity of the Catholic Church, the necessities belonging to it for. Hold on, I gotta blow finish what it said right here. Where is it? For internal salvation, the position of the Pope as supreme head of the church, and the duties tending arising to submit to the Pope, to belong to the church, and thus to attain salvation. The Pope
emphasize higher position of the spiritual in comparison with the secular order. The historian Brian Tierney calls it probably the most famous document on church and state in medieval Europe. The original document is lost, but versions of the text can be found in the Register of Boniface VIII in the Vatican archives. The bull was definitive statement of the late medieval theory of hierarchy, which is aristocracy, which is heredity rights, which argue for the temporal as well as spiritual supremacy of the Pope. Now, see where it say temporal, right?
Yeah.
And then it say as well as spiritual supremacy. The word temporal, click on it.
Okay.
Because they got it highlighted for a reason. The temporal power of the Holy See designates the political and secular influence of the Holy See, the leading of a state by the Pope and Catholic Church as distinguished from its spiritual or pastoral activity. So this is the claiming to you separate from the religion, right? So yeah, that's called a 3-tier crown.
Yeah, you broke that down. You broke that down. And it's the same Pope. It's the same crown that the Ethiopian Christian Coptic niggas be wearing. And
that's where they got it from.
Yeah,
they stole it from them. So when they was telling us that they burned down the libraries of Alexander, right? Who was supposed to do that?
Right, go ahead.
Ask Google, who burned down Alexandria? So this is the war between Rome rising to power, trying to put down the Greco-Egyptian collaboration to fight them back. Look, gay-ass Julius Caesar. You know his first name is Gaius, right?
Yeah, Gaius.
Yeah, I always call him gay-ass because that's how it sounds. All right, now, it's a pursuit of the property. No, in pursuit of Pompeii into Egypt in 48 BCE, Caesar, I can't read, it's too little.
Caesar was cut off by the large fleet of Egyptian boats in the harbor of Alexandria. He ordered the boats to be burned. The fleet was destroyed, but the flames spread through the city and the library.
It just so happened to spread to the library.
Yeah, right. They
okay, now
doing shit like that.
If you pull up the book Unto Thee I Grant. Unto Thee, THE.
Okay. The dude's name is
Unto Thee, UNTO, new word. Right there, the first one. Okay, economy of life. It don't matter which one you clicked on, they all the same. Okay. The one I got is the brown one though.
The right here, the first one?
Yeah.
All right, let me save it. You got the brown one like that one, or this brown one like this one?
It's actually the actual book is in the second row.
Golden Trade of the Moors. Let me say that. I'm gonna come back to that. Might have something to do with the shit you talking about.
Okay, in this book right here, it's a picture of a monk standing in front of a whole bunch of ancient scrolls in Tibet. And the guy that they get a credit for translating this, Ramathario, he went to get it from the Tibetan monks. The Unto Thee I Grant is in the Circle 7 in parts called Holy Instructions from the Prophet.
What? Go ahead.
All right. This was originally written, according to the introduction, by Amenhotep III in Egypt. And the scrolls were sent to Tibet to be kept by the monks for posterity. That's what it's saying in the introduction. Okay, now, the reference was for the picture of the monk in front of the scrolls. Right? I don't know if they show any of the inside of the book or if they're going to show that. But
no, they probably don't.
Look at put photos between Grant and inside. There you go. See the old man right there at the bottom with the scroll in his hand?
Yeah, right there.
That's it right there.
Let me save him. Let me blow him up for you. And wait till I get that hard drive because I'm gonna be able to organize all your classes. They're gonna be lit.
Read what it said at the bottom. Chief Lama.
Chief Lama, Abbott.
Or Abbott.
Abbott. I can't see this. Bakeley? I can't
holding ancient scroll inside Lamazri of Tibet frontier.
Yeah.
That's the ancient mystic order of the Rose and Cross right there. Okay, now look, you see the scrolls, how they keep them?
Yeah, right here.
Every major earth text that has a significant impact on culture is there. Every major earth some you don't even know exists.
What?
Now, this is what the Library of Alexandria was made like, similar to this. They didn't keep theirs like this. They kept double-rolled scrolls and palm leaf parchments, and that's what it was. All of these scrolls that they had duplicates made in Alexandria that they kept in Rome. So when they was burning down Alexandria, they already knew that they had secured the information for the youth in Rome safe and secure. So now they're safe to burn down Alexandria.
Makes sense.
So in one of the books I was reading on the ancient priesthood, pyramid priesthood, right? It said that the pyramid priests left with the scrolls by the dark of night.
Wow. And then they went, I heard that before. Go ahead.
And then it said they went east. Well, we know if you in Egypt, in Cairo, or in Alexandria, and you go east, you're going toward Jerusalem.
Yep.
Right? Now, why would they go east on land to take it to the Pope in Rome?
Go ahead.
Because you can't go by boat because they fighting on the water.
Yeah.
So you have to go east to go around the Mediterranean to get back to Rome on the other side.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right? So this is why they left with the scrolls going east, taking them to the Vatican. That's how we know where they went.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because they didn't show up anywhere but Egypt. And the ones that went to Tibet left scrolls there.
Uh-huh.
Now Tibet is southeast to Egypt. And to the north, you have Rome, but it's separated by the Mediterranean. So you just said they was fighting and they was burning down the boats, remember?
Yeah.
So that's supposed to cause the fire jumped across the water onto the land and burned down the building.
Uh-huh.
Make that shit make sense, Elder. How did water jump out the water? How did fire jump out the water and burn down the village?
Right. Right. That don't even make it. They don't even, unless they shooting Bob. Unless the niggas had rockets or something back then. I'm gonna pull this picture up right here because it shows that map you looking for. Right here. Damn. What the hell? There you go.
You see where it say Alexandria at?
Yeah.
Now that's the only way you can get there going east is you got to go around the landlocked.
Yeah, right here. Matter of fact, they had to go around the Black Sea really too. Go this way, like this.
Mm-hmm. Now remember,
that's
when Hannibal
right there.
Hannibal went through France into Italy, coming from Macedonia in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it was a nigga in the Senate that sold out Hannibal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? Hannibal needed more supplies. He had Rome defeated. And when he sent for more supplies, the senator was like, fuck him, let him find his way home.
Damn, it looked like a boot too right there.
Yeah, that's Italy. So now, when he left his stronghold to secure Rome, Rome had sent armies through Spain across the Pillars of Hercules to invade Carthage. Now, Hannibal was scurrying back, coming around the other way, and then he got some soldiers catching ships across the Mediterranean in order to get back to the homeland because they was under siege by Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's what caused Carthage to fall to Rome. Mm-hmm. That nigga looked like us, but he ain't us, and sold us out.
Yeah, sold us out, man. Get them niggas, right? So Sicily right here, you know African, Nubians was there, man. Look at that.
Right. The thing about Sicily is when Hannibal's army was in France, Italy, all up in there, they was having babies with the villagers close by. So they was sending them all to Sicily to keep Hannibal's soldiers' children safe. That's why all of them are so heavily melanated in Sicily.
That's right.
Right? That's the offspring of Hannibal's people. Now remember, Egypt settled Europe starting from the island of Crete. You see the island of Crete right there in the middle, right there. That's the first school in Europe was built there for Europeans.
Well, go ahead.
All right. Now, from Tuscany, which is roughly where Rome is on the map, the Etruscans settled Tuscany, and the Tuscany or the Etruscans who lived in Tuscany became the progenitors of Rome. They took over from Alexander by taking and merging the Greece and Roman empires. Now, if you look, this says it's a Greco-Roman Empire. Greece is first, which most people would think that mean they won.
Yeah.
But they couldn't have won and Rome still be in power.
Right.
That means Greece would still be in power.
Right.
But Rome is the one wielding the power, so that tells you who ruled.
That's right.
Okay. Now, all of this is going on. Now, remember, the European is trying to kick the Etruscan Moors out of Europe for dastardly deeds.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, look up, go to the search engine and put in Algonquins in Europe. ALGONQUINS in Europe. Go to the main page. Can you read that? What it say?
It says the Algonquins tribe lives mostly in southern Canada and upstate New York with the European. Oh shit, that's them right there, Rod. Traders arrived. We got them niggas sold the beaver fur. Oh yeah, them niggas. That's those niggas you said they're high in upstate New York.
Listen, no, the original Algonquins left from over here to aid Europe and kicking the dirty Moors out of Europe.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, this is showing you how their connections was. You see, they got to replace us.
They had a positive. It said they had a positive reaction to the Europeans because of the power they gave them. Without the firearm help of the French, they were going to continue to get overpowered by the technology advanced Iroquois people. That's the Iroquois people is Native Americans.
Yeah, them us.
Oh shit, son, you might have stumbled up on something else here. Oh shit. So it was natives going to help Europeans?
Yeah. Put in
what the fuck?
How do you got it written in there? Because I can't see it.
It says
Algonquins in Europe.
Yeah.
Put European war. EAN behind Europe.
Okay.
And war.
It's the same thing I just read about with the firearms to help the French. They were going to continue to get over.
Okay, put book behind it.
Here we go right here. The Black Art War.
This should say Algonquins in Europe.
Okay, right here. The last Algonquins. The Cold War. Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Let's see. Let's see. If you got any questions for the brother Rod, drop them in the chat, man.
Yeah, we about to go to Q&A. I'll probably have to find that book and send it to you.
Man, you got to send that joint to me, man. They hiding that joint. That must be a tough book right there. Portland, 1938, 39. It sounds the same year they got the damn Stargate. Yeah, It don't show that book. You know?
I'll find it and send it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it in the next links. Because it's 10:30 now. We've been on for 2 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take them question and answers the entire time Eric Horn was helping the British.
Yeah, let's go to the Q&A.
Okay. Yeah, somebody said so the Iroquois was helping the British expand to the west.
No.
Okay.
You gotta remember what I was telling you. Okay, the Etruscans was native nowhere.
Okay.
They're not native nowhere on the planet. So when you get the call from one of your relatives that their house getting rammed up in, you're gonna go help them.
Yeah. Right. Oh shit, it makes sense. Go ahead.
So they called for help to get the get the Etruscans out of Europe.
That's right.
Right. And it culminated in the French Revolution. Spanish Inquisition, all of that was on the heels of getting them out. Right. Then they sent them to some place called Al-Maghrib. Al-Maghrib means Northwest Africa. They keep telling us over here is Northwest Africa, but that's nothing further from the truth.
Damn. Hey, these some niggas right here. Look. All right. So the red coats, right? But these niggas ain't red coats, and they got that same type of drum major type fez, furry as buffalo fez. These niggas coming from over here with this.
From over where?
Like Canada somewhere. These really mulattoes. You can tell this nigga right here look like a mulatto. He like a mulatto right here. This dude right here. He like a black dude, light-skinned black dude.
I know some dudes look like him.
Yeah, he look like Superfly. He look like Superfly right there.
Yeah, I don't have no context for this picture, so I can just look at it.
Yeah. Then like he playing the drum. White folks couldn't march and play drums at the same time, man. Hey, come on, man. Niggas is watching it play.
I bet they can do it now, though, can't they?
Yeah, right.
What happened?
Because they mixed with us.
One drop of blood.
Yeah. The white boys I know white boys you see out there dancing, they really Canaanites, mulattoes.
Mulattoes, quadroons, and octroons.
Yeah. Yeah, albinos.
What you see for the questions in the comment section?
Yeah, so the Etruscans are ETs, extraterrestrials.
They ain't from here. Then what else I was gonna make them?
Yeah, right. Right. That's right on. Says get down. Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay, let's see what's going to happen with our dear loved ones. I don't know what they mean by that. Let's see. Got any questions, man? It says why did we listen to the laws and why did we listen to their laws and their authority? These beings that came over here to take us over. These Etruscans.
They killed off the leadership first.
Okay.
When you don't got no leadership, anybody can be the leader as long as he looked the part. The paperwork make them look official and legitimate. But the face of the paperwork say that it's illegitimate.
Uh-huh.
It's a con game, a Ponzi scheme, a constructed fraud. So it was the Pope who ordered them to do it in the 1300s. Right, it was several papal bulls, Pope Beneficent, Pope Innocent, and it's another one, but it's like 3 major papal bulls that give the Pope ownership of everybody and declare everybody imbeciles. The only thing you can do is assert your right as pretender to the throne to overthrow the jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing now. So now that we did all that, we got to get popular support for the system to flip by making or informing them that the faster they stop supporting the system, the faster we can get on to the next system. This shit over with.
Somebody said, so the Etruscans are the Enlil's children that is trying to take over.
Absolutely.
All right. Somebody
I could have said it better myself.
Right, you could have said it right. Okay. Okay. We got will the power grid go down and for how long? if it was when the switch happened. When the,
it can be anywhere. Look, it can be anywhere from 3 hours to 90 days.
Okay, that's what I said too.
And when it's gonna happen is we not gonna know until it happens.
Okay, if it happened, right?
But watch this hurricane coming up, hitting Florida. Every area that they're declaring a national emergency is falling under the jurisdiction of FEMA. And this is time to continuity of government activities. FEMA have to be put in charge in order for the government to flip.
Mm-hmm.
That's all part of all of those executive orders that the president was signing that nobody wasn't paying attention to. And when I was pointing them out, they was calling me crazy for it. Now they doing this shit.
Somebody said, okay, we're gonna take like 2 more, then we're gonna get out of here, man, because we already ran over time. Here we go. What we got right here? Who are the worst? Who are the worst? Hello, that's your bullets. He just making a statement. So the people who are dead, what will they happen to them? People. So the people who are dead, what will happen to the people we know that love? I don't get the question. So we are all looking for, right? Yeah, okay. I remember a question the dude asked. He like, I think he answered this question too on a tape. But he's like, who were the people, the families that were occupying those castles prior to them coming and taking them? I think you already broke that down though. The natives, right?
Yeah, that was us.
There's us. Right?
We left the castles to fight the wars. They backtracked on us using the Lewis and Clark expedition to survey the land. Upon the inspection and the survey, all of the castles were empty.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said the castles was empty, they blamed it on the shipwreck, the good ship Plymouth, the shipwreck. So when they blame it on the shipwreck, now they expand they salvage rights to cover the discovered crash scene of the Louisiana Purchase that they didn't know they had knocked the royalty out of their castles when they collided into the bay over there off of DC.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, well, all of the royalty gone on the land because ain't nobody in none of the castles. So we just gonna put all of it under salvage law. And then we're gonna execute under the corporate charter called the Constitution in order to exercise our jurisdiction under the salvage right and squatters' right. That's what they did.
Hey, we got 700 people in here, man. Everybody hit that like for your brother so I can get that algorithm up. And this is right here, the last question we got for your brother Rod. We're gonna let you get out of it because I know you're a busy guy. Then you probably want to get in touch with because Black Magic called you too. He probably still be up. Hey, shout out to brother Black Magic. After the last question is, they say after the queen died or whatever, that the wealth that they had, that she had power of, has that been switched back to its original owner, or where did that wealth go? The queen have, if she had any?
Oh, they stole a whole bunch of shit. They was real good at they thievery.
Mm-hmm.
And they got it all cataloged, believe it or not, because they had to catalog everything they stole.
Wow. Especially the ancient Egyptian artifacts with like King Tut's face and like all the gold, the gold fixtures.
Now, all of that stuff, it's gonna be a museum built in Egypt. A huge, huge museum, probably the biggest one we've seen in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of those tombs that they raided, they have to return. They're going to have an amnesty period to return it because if anybody get caught with it, it's punishable by death. So they're going to return all of the artifacts to Egypt. But that ain't just the only one because they got very important artifacts from Benin, from Côte d'Ivoire, from South Africa, from varying places around the continent of and from over here. We got to determine what we want our museum to be built like, to receive all of our artifacts that Smithsonian stole, and all of the archaeologists and anthropologists unearthing our ancestors. We want to put all of that where the youth can see that we've been running this motherfucker and we don't have no problem taking over to run it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So all of the wealth that they got, everything is accounted for. They know where everything came from. Every piece of jewelry that the queen got that's ridiculously expensive, they know what country it goes to. India is going to be building a museum, China, Japan, and Europe, believe it or not, because they have artifacts from Europe that's very, very old and very, very expensive if you were the owner of them.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those artifacts from tombs is declared, wherever you got it from, is declared to return to that geography, and the people is their responsibility to immortalize it, enshrine, and to use it as educational tools for the youth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have extraterrestrial crafts and all kind of stuff for the children to explore as they grow up. Actual crafts from that's not even made out of a material from Earth.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, man.
So that concludes class today, young elder.
Hey, this was fire, man. This class was. Hey, this is another hit, man. Because I got some more pieces, man. I got a whole nother man. With the next class, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do more research on these. I'm gonna try to figure out the connection between because I want to know. Like I got some shit from Taj Tariq Bay, a couple more things that I'm gonna tie in. I'm gonna have a class on this, another like a more of a magnified class on this, because this is deep, man. How they fucking robbed us, and like I say, I saw some Mexicans on the when I was in Houston yesterday. The Mexicans saw me and they said I want to do Hino, because they I'm gonna tell you, man, this way it hurt my feelings. They know it's a lot of everybody else know who we are, but they won't tell us. They won't say it. They won't come out and say, hey, y'all, y'all really, some people say it. I heard of that like you sent me a link to where the Mexican was telling them on that tour. He said he was telling them who we are, that the Armax will know us and this and that. But a lot of these people, the Hindus, all these people, they come over here, they know exactly who we are, but they'll look at us and laugh at us and won't tell us, man. I said, man, fuck if anybody that knew who he was and didn't tell us, man, we gonna line them niggas up with the rest of them, Etruscan niggas, man. We gonna line them up with the rest of them.
Listen, okay?
Go ahead.
Just because they didn't tell you don't mean they had malice. You got to remember, these motherfuckers was murdering anybody that told us, including pale faces.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I think about that.
So, you got to remember, for every uprising we had a giant brown with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every one of them we had. So every time we tried to get out of it, we got a motherfucking Giant Brown or Charles Manson with us. Crazy ass white boy that don't give a fuck about the system.
Yep, that's right. That's right. That's right.
One thing about it, motherfuckers say what they want to, but I had none of the problems out of pale people that I have out of our people.
That's right.
As far as when I say shit, look, I'm at work. Motherfucker came and asked me a question and I gave him an answer. He told me I didn't know what I was talking about. Went to the other end of the line, asked the pale face, right?
Uh-huh.
The pale face said, I don't know, but I can find out for you. Pale face came and asked me for the answer. I give it. No, this is the real shit. This really happened. Yeah. I answered the pale face. The pale face go back and tell my man the same shit I told him earlier. And he came back to me and said, you know what? You was right. I said, how you know? He said, so-and-so told me. I said, you know, he came and got the answer from me. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't get the answer from me. I said, go ask him. But the whole thing is, if it didn't come out the pale face, they didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, that's what Bible said. Go ahead.
So now you got the pale faces teaching the classes, telling you there was no such thing as white people before 1642 or some shit, 92 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then you got another one saying that if you think that you're gonna continuously disrespect these people, you're gonna be begging for their genetics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the list of things goes on and on. The pale face telling everybody the same thing I'm telling them, but they'd rather hear it come from them because now they can believe it because Whitey said it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. And they don't even know that the white man ain't even white.
That's right.
It's a status in law, the same as the black man ain't even black. Mm-hmm. It's a status in law. Not only is it a status in law, it tells you a definite, distinct group of people that fall under each classification. And under free white persons in law, it's an Englishman, a Moor, right? So, and some more shit. And then under black, you know, it just gives a physical description of the people. Mm-hmm. That they don't want to know who they is. They don't want to know they was wearing feathers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fuck your feathers. I want my feathers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's for all the righteous Moors. That's not to take it personally. It's just that I'm not a Moor. I want my feathers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Fellas up. We want to thank you, Brother Rod, for coming out, man. This right here was another classic, another banger, Young Elder Gang. Like I say, we dropped the Brother Rod Hayes Cash App in the links if you want to show him some love, because man, he put in his work. We're gonna build off of this right here, though. We're gonna build off of this. So like I said, man, hit that like, hit that subscribe button before y'all get out of here if you ain't subscribed to the page. And like I say, hit the bell. And if you don't receive something from us every day, come back and check. We're gonna get you back on, Brother Rod, sometime this week. So let me know when you're free again. We'll do another one, because this right here was hot. This right here was like, it's like it's like the big mama energy, the ancestors. Cause a lot of that stuff, when you be talking, I be like, man, there's no way he can know that, because like it's like the ancestors is talking through him. Cause you be going as it's like you be going as you go. It's like you be you be imagining it as you go, and the divine truth come to you as you talking, and it just flow out of you. It just flow out of you, and you make all the connections as you go. And it's like you got like a set amount of information, but it's like I can feel the energy of the ancestors talking through you and telling you certain things to say, make that connection, tell them about that, tell them about this, make that connection. I can hear Big Mama voice telling it, saying it, man. So hey, we about to get up out of here, man. This is another banger. Yeah, share it on your YouTube, share it on your Facebook, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We about to get up out of here. Islam, peace, hotel, shalom alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, peace and harmony and love. Ashug, divine love throughout the violence universe to all. Wadu.
Some people don't know if they're getting buried or if they're implanted. Right? And so they look the same.